Harriet Gordon here, and I wanted to talk with you a little bit about what is a response to a perceived threat. So we're used to talking about it in terms of fight or flight, or sometimes fight, flight, or freeze. But there's actually a fourth one that's just starting to gain a little bit of traction and being talked about in context of trauma and a body's response to a perceived threat. So what do we mean by that? So if we use an example of, like, say you're in a bank and somebody comes in, makes a lot of noise, and they're wearing a ski mask and they're holding a gun and they're saying, I'm going to rob this place. Your brain is going to interpret that as a perceived threat. We don't know the actual threat level. We don't know if there are guns in the bullets. We don't know if that person actually intends to use violence or if it's just a threat. We can't be sure, but our brains are going to be like, this is a threat. So the four ways that a person might respond, and this is something too that we can speculate what we might do in a situation like that, but we can't really know for sure until we're in a situation like that because our brains choose for us. It's something beyond our conscious control. We can't necessarily say, let me gather all the facts and figure out which one I want to respond. And it doesn't happen like that. It's like almost immediate. And it happens beyond our control. So the first way that someone might respond to that perceived threat is the fight response. Tackle the gunman, get the gun away from them, beat them up, sit on them until the police comes, like fight that threat, neutralize that threat. Another way to respond might be to flee, flight, run away as fast as a person can. Maybe look for an opportunity when that robber is busy doing something else or distracted for a moment and then run out the door or run to the back or something, kind of leave the situation as quickly as possible. Freeze response is something that the brain does more often when fighting the threat is not an option and running away from the threat is not an option. So I'm thinking about, like, using this example. Say it's a woman who is of physically smaller stature than the robber. They're not going to fight, probably. That probably wouldn't end well for them. Maybe they're wearing heels and they can't run away as fast as they can as easily as they could if they were wearing tennis shoes. The brain's going to automatically skip those options and go for freeze. Immobilize. Wait for the threat to pass. Sometimes that's not even an option. Say the robber is talking to the bank manager and she's, got her heels on and she's a petite woman and she can't fight. She can't run away. She can't really freeze if he's saying, hey, I need you to take me to the vault. I need your code to get in or whatever. She might just comply. Take the money. Don't hurt anyone. Here you go. Please leave. Whatever. Like that acquiescence that I'm going to give you what you're asking for so that this ends as peacefully as possible, as best case scenario as possible. It's just as valid a trauma response or a response to a perceived threat as any of the other options. So that's what the similarities and differences are between fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Hope that helps.